Hello, dudes and dudettes. Welcome to episode 6 of Attention Left Blank. I didn't pick any music because we're running late, so doot. We got some guests today. We got California EDC, and we got some Cowboy, and my awesome co-host, Frankie, as usual.
Hey, how's it
What was that?
going?
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
All right, sorry we're late. It's all my fault. All right, so you guys got anything to talk about within the last week? Or actually, let's talk about Frankie's videos really quick. So Frankie, plug your videos.
Okay. So, I totally went out to the range and I did a video on my new holster that I got from my Glock 43X. So, please check that out. I also have some information about a different holster that I don't have that is very interesting. Has felt inside of it, so it will protect your pretty gun. So if you want that kind of information, go out to my channel and check that out. I'm also going to be dropping my comparison videos here shortly in the next week and so forth. It's going to be exciting.
Nice. And then just to for those who don't know, so the holster is for your 43X.
Yes, I got it from G Code. Pretty sweet holster.
Oh, nice.
I'm very picky when it comes to holsters.
I just like to say something. I am not hearing Frankie talk at all.
Oh, you don't hear Frankie? That's because you're on Safari or something.
Oh, God. Give me a few minutes and I'll be back. I got to get on my phone.
All right, continue, Frankie.
So I'm kind of picky when it comes to holsters, so I did a lot of research before I bought it. A lot of thought went into it, so I was really excited to share my experience with the audience,
Right. And then what do you think about your 43X so far? I super want one, but I'm going to have to pay at least $1,000 to get one because it's not on the roster here. But I'm super jealous of yours. So what do you think about it so far?
I love it. It's a lot lighter than the other 9mm I have. It's very strange going from a 380 to a 9. But it's pretty light. It's pretty small. It fits in my hand perfectly, which is awesome. It's fun to shoot. It's just really fun to shoot.
Yeah, I think they're pretty nice.
I'm getting better at racking it, so I think I'm definitely building up muscle and tolerance for it. I'm working on my trigger control. Went out to the range yesterday. What is today? I don't know.
Today's Monday.
But I went out to the range to practice some new gripping techniques, and it really helped because I was having a lot of problems with it hurting my wrist, and it hurt less this time. So.
Oh, awesome! That is awesome. And your channel is Frankie's Guns and Glitter, for everyone who doesn't know. I'm sure there'll be a link in the side if you want to check it out.
Yeah, I'm working on that now so that everybody can click over there and get subscribed and give me some thumbs up on my videos.
Thumbs up. Slim.
Yes.
You had a video, but wasn't it just about the intentionally left blank patch, or did you have another video?
I did a couple videos in the last few weeks. Did a review for the cartridge conversion Man with No Name edition gun that was basically a copy of what was used in The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Did a video on some finish wear issues I'm having. And yes, then I did a video showing that really awesome patch that I got from Intentionally Left Blank.
Yep, and that kind of segues us into mentioning the patch. So yeah, we have some patches. They are all glow in the dark except for the black background. That's right? Or no, the purple doesn't
Yeah,
glow, maybe?
no, the purple stripe cross sections glow too. It's just you got to get them really, really bright on them.
Yeah, they're the bee's knees, and they're not for sale. Oh, Slim's showing one right here. So there it is. And if it was dark, it would maybe glow. I don't know how charged it is, but maybe.
Not really charged. Lights
Yeah,
went off. I was not prepared for this.
was not prepared. Should always be prepared. So yeah, we have the patches. There will be an opportunity to win a patch today during this show. Otherwise, I'm not sure how we'll give them out. But thanks to our sponsor, Alan Anchor, for some patches. That feels douchey. All right, so Dave, what about you? You been doing anything besides being on the registry, or what?
No, just trying to decide. I got to go check to see if go get one of those 1-day pregnancy test or piss test or whatever to make sure Omega didn't get me pregnant.
Right.
Other than that, just sweating my schmalls off.
Just roasting in California.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, it's extremely hot in California today, and we are all roasting to death. So please take pity on us and feel bad for us.
Well, they do that anyways.
It was actually kind of cool today. I was debating closing the windows because it was getting kind of chilly.
Shut up.
Slim.
Shut up. You know what? When it's like -2 there and the birds are chirping and you're like, why do I gotta hear your birds? I'm gonna turn it up louder.
I was gonna say, it's been 70 degrees over here all day, so if you want someplace to escape, come over here.
Hey, I'll be escaping to the Midwest in a couple weeks. So, yeah, looking forward to that. All right, so
this heat wave is actually going to be all the way up in Washington too. It's going to be 95 on the lake.
Geez, it's supposed to end on Wednesday, right?
No. Well, the 100 degrees, yeah, but the 95 plus is still going to be here.
Yeah. Well, summer's here. All right, so let's dig into the show, our nice unorganized show. First topic is being observant. And before we jump into that, what I mean by that is I personally feel like part of, personal safety is being aware of your surroundings. So you get out of the car, you don't have tunnel vision to the door you're going to walk into. You take a look around before you get out of the car. Who's around you, who's coming up. You go into a building, I don't know, you kind of look where the exits are. Am I the only one that does that kind of stuff? I'm pretty sure no. What about you guys?
So, no. Like, when I go to places, I look for the emergency exits, that kind of thing. Look around to see who looks suspicious, who doesn't, who's following me too close. One thing that I always saw my husband doing when he was getting into concealed carry before I did was that if anybody ever walked behind him too close, he stopped and put his back to the wall. So I have adopted that. Getting out of the car, when you go and park somewhere, you're kind of looking around before you even open the door. Being extra observant once you get out of the car and close the door. I.e. getting out of the store and doing the same thing but in reverse. Who's around, who's in the parking lots. It sounds paranoid, but it really isn't when you're thinking about your safety.
Yeah, no, I absolutely don't think that's like being paranoid. I mean, you're just being aware of what could possibly go on in like the vicinity that you're in.
Yeah. Example, I was walking from the front door at my work all the way to my desk, and then there was this guy behind me, and I stopped and I looked behind me at him, and he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "You're too close, man."
Yeah, personal space.
My bubble.
That's a thing.
This is my bubble.
I mean, I suspect that Frankie and I, as broads, probably are more aware, or I don't know, maybe because, like women have other worries.
Senses.
Yeah, other things, I guess. Like, no one's trying to rape you guys all the time, you know what I mean? But yeah, so what about from you guys? What's your perspective on that as males?
Oh,
Go
no,
for it,
go ahead.
Slims. All right. Well, when I go to public, I'm always I only stand 5'10", but or 5'11", depending on what convenience store I'm leaving. But I'm constantly scanning over the top of the crowd, checking to see if there's a bad apple in the crowd, and it's not determined by the person's looks. It's actually more determined by the person's demeanor. If they look like they're up to no good, most likely it's the truth. Um,
I'll agree with that. I mean, I think that, like, someone acting shifty.
exactly.
Yeah.
The eyes that, like asks that, active self-protection always says, the eyes are the windows to the soul.
That's true. Slim, what about you?
I can definitely agree that self-awareness, like being aware of your surrounding, is very important. More and more, I'm seeing, you see it more and more where we're plugged into technology, and you'll see someone walking down the street, headphones in, hoodie up, looking down at their phone, and the only time they look up is to make sure they haven't walked into a stop sign or anything, which I've seen happen multiple times. And you look at that person, and I'm like, wow, if someone wanted to attack them, and I'm not saying that people around randomly attacking everybody on a daily basis, but I'm like, you've got no awareness of your surroundings. If somebody walks out in front of you, you don't notice it, and then like if someone is actually trying to rob you or something, or trying to do you harm, they're so fixated on what is directly in front of them that, yeah, it pretty much opens them up to be a target and to be a victim. So I think being aware of your surroundings is very important. That's why, like you were saying, the occasional just glance around, see what your environment is useful. It doesn't have to be super tactical, but just being aware of the fact that, and especially when driving, this is something I've noticed in driving, is that people don't pay a lot of attention when they're driving. They're messing on a phone or doing whatever, and that's how you see so many accidents, because they're not paying attention.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Well, I got something to say real quick to
okay,
add to
go
that.
ahead.
The thing is, as the more you look around and you're more aware of the environment and everything, they're aware that you're aware. And that actually has
Yes,
a tendency to actually keep them away from you. They see you like that, and they're like, well, this person's aware of his surroundings. We're not going to get the jump on them.
exactly. You're in, basically, you said it perfectly. Where the someone looking to do harm, or looking for that quick purse grab, or quick whatever, or kick you. They're looking for someone that's preoccupied with whatever they're doing. They're not looking for the person that glances around every once in a while and says, "Oh well, hell, I can't walk up on this guy because he's looking up, or he's doing whatever, or he's not involved in his Angry Birds game." Like, you know
People still
Yeah,
play that?
what would
what?
you say? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was talking to Dave, not you.
I said people still play that game?
Probably. Um, yeah, so I would say, being observant and being aware of your surroundings is, I mean, everyone should do that, and it doesn't take a concealed carry permit. And I think that, most people who carry a concealed weapon hopefully have gotten some kind of training at some point. And I know one of the big things that they, push on that is, you know, you're not walking into looking for a battle, you need to avoid. And that using your eyes and like scanning the scene or whatever, that's just like that's avoiding a problem. Because if you see, if I get out of the car to go to 7-Eleven and there's a bunch of like guys that look like, not a good time standing in front of 7-Eleven, I'm probably not going to go into the 7-Eleven because, you're just walking into like the lion's den kind of. So, yeah. Do you think that's kind of accurate, Frankie, as like another lady?
Yeah, and even if you're just thinking about getting to CCW or you're not really ready to do it, I still recommend taking the class because it really like jolts you up to reality. Like you guys were saying, there's a lot of people that walk around with their head down looking at their feet or whatever's in their hands. You're not really looking around. You don't really see any dangers, and not to be paranoid or anything, but if you're looking up, if you're being observant around, it benefits your safety. I've become so much self-aware just from, taking classes and everything else as far as what I used to be. I remember being a teenager and my dad would yell at me all the time. It's like, look up when we would be walking and stuff like that. And I never really understood why he was always telling me about it. But now that he's gone and all of these changes that's happened in my life, like I get it.
Yep, it's very. I think it's easy to get caught up in your own little world and like not not use your tactical eyes to like just pay attention. And that's like even today, I was at the post office and I saw this guy walking down the street in front of the post office on a main street, um, and he was just like head down in his phone walking down the street. So like a car comes out of the driveway, right, at the post office, and the guy like hears it or whatever and stops and like pops his head up and he's like, like startled. But it's like, dude, if you're paying attention, you would have seen that car, pulling out of the parking space and approaching the driveway. You almost get hit by a car, and that's,
Plus,
where it is.
that can be helpful if you do end up getting into a confrontation with somebody. Maybe it's just, you guys yelling back and forth or whatever over a disagreement, paying attention to that person, like, hey, are they backing up? Like they're not looking to get into the fight? Are they moving towards you? What are their hands doing? Are they like sticking their hands in their pockets like they might, progress that to the next level? Or are they, trying to diffuse the situation and not look, that's all things that are very important to pay attention to.
Yep. And the reason I bring all of this up, well, the reason why this is on the show is because I think I've just noticed recently, like a lot of unobservant people where like, like you could say, well, you know, what color was the door or something, and they have no idea, or some detail that people don't pick up because you're not really being observant of uh, your your surroundings. And I think that is a gigantic part of personal safety. So yeah, I thought it'd be kind of a cool topic to discuss, and I'd like to hear what people in the chat think about that. If they agree that's a safety thing, or if they think it's cool to just be like, no, I got my horse blinders on, going in and out, and F everyone else.
I've noticed over the years of me carrying, I've actually spotted more people printing than I've ever saw in my life.
Yep, that is, I was going to say that. That's another thing that I noticed a lot around here is that you'll see some printing go on, and then it's like, oh,
I can agree with that.
yeah.
I've seen that many a time. It's amazing. Like once you start carrying, you get into that carry mindset. Like you start seeing, like you hate to make fun of some of the people, but you see like, the lousy belt with the junk holster, and it's this big bulge on the side of them, and it's like, you know, you almost get to the point where you wish you could like walk up to it and be like, look, okay, just
Get a better
try,
holster, get a better
yeah,
belt.
like try this and try this, because like anybody that's looking at you that knows is gonna know that you're carrying. So like, try this. Trust me, you'll be so much more comfortable.
Yeah, it's always, I don't know. There's some group I'm in on Facebook, and you see like all kinds of carry fails.
What group?
Yeah. All right, so I guess we've solved that. Does anyone have anything to add to our? Whoa, Gary's here. Gary, yo,
Yo.
yo. So, what do you think about being observant? Is
Well,
that part of personal safety, or are we just full of crap?
it's absolutely part of personal safety. You got to keep your eyes and your ears open, as they say.
Absolutely. Head.
Doesn't mean be paranoid necessarily, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. All right, so Dano brought something up here in the chat. The NRA 3 rules for safe gun handling. And do we all know what those are?
I'm assuming the typical treat it's like it's loaded, don't point anything you want to destroy, you know, finger off the trigger till you're ready, that kind of thing.
Those 4 rules.
Pretty much. Keep the gun pointed in a safe direction. Keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. And keep your gun unloaded until it is ready to use. So yeah, gun safety. Let's talk a little bit about gun safety. Do you catch yourself like spotting other people's unsafety moments?
I have at the range.
Range is a big one.
The most interesting story was I was at the one public outdoor range, and it's sad because it was a father teaching his kid how to shoot, which, you know, I'm all for that. That's amazing. And but they were all the way on the left side of the range on a bench, and they had put targets on the right side because the right side was closer distance, and the father wasn't paying as much attention to the kid as he should have, which is kind of brings us from our last point to this one. And what happened was I was shooting straight forward, and the kid was trying to shoot the targets all the way over on the right side. And literally, like, if I leant my head forward, he would have, like, clipped me in the head. And I finally had to, like, stop and, like, not yell at them, but kind of, like, sternly say, you know, you're not paying attention to your kid. You've put targets in an unsafe manner that, you know, if he shoots at them, he's shooting across the firing line, and that's not safe. Like, that, you know, if that kid points a little bit further, you know, you're firing into the line of people. But that was a pretty unsafe moment.
So,
They
but,
don't have, go ahead, Dave.
no, I'm saying basically, according to the NRA, we're supposed to keep an empty chamber while we're carrying.
No, because you're using the gun.
Well, if it's in the holster, it's not ready to use.
Yeah, but it's not stored. You're using it as a carry gun, right?
Eh,
Don't mess with my logic.
You're passively using it. Kurt.
I just want to say that you're married, so you know better than to challenge women.
But I am divorced too.
Well,
Ooh.
I'm telling your wife that you did that. But anyway, yeah, so gun safety rules, very important. And yeah, the range is like, there's this one range that I go to, and I only, like, when I go there, if there's too many people on the line, I won't go shoot. And when too many people start showing up, then I'm done shooting. Because I feel like nobody has eyes and nobody is watching.
Too much chaos.
Especially when there's no range
Oh.
manager.
There's range officers, and they don't actually come out on the line unless you've like super effed up, or I guess they're unlazy. But
Or you're shooting too fast.
yeah, or shooting. Well, usually they just go on a PA and they're like, "Hey, 1 per second." But they like basically watch you via video, and there's a lot of it's by a college, so there's a lot of like date nights going on, I guess, and a lot of like first timers, and there's a lot of like giggling and flip flops. So yeah, it's like always like super. It makes me nervous, but yeah.
And
All right.
that's why I don't really go to gun ranges. I like my outdoor range. I don't have to worry about other people and their stupid mistakes. But
Is that a private range or like a public outdoor?
it's 100% private.
Oh,
It's
nice.
it's the backyard of where my husband works with his buddy at a shop. And
Oh, that's cool.
there's
Nice.
like he doesn't really the guy that owns the shop doesn't really allow anybody back there to shoot except for us. But quick story, his neighbor did come by because he was shooting on his own property one time, and he's like, "Hey man, there's something wrong with my gun. It won't fire or whatever else." So he comes into one of the bays of the shop, right? And he opens the thing, and he's showing us. And I saw it, and I was like, I am out of here. I went 3 bays deep. The guy had the bullets in the gun backwards.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Wow.
And one chamber, dude. Like, I was out of there. I didn't want anything to do with that mess. And then my husband, he's looking at it, and he just yells his best friend's name out, and like all the guys went over there and got the gun. They handled it. But like, Jesus, man.
Yeah, I've seen so one time I was at the range and this guy's like, my shotgun's not working. And then anyway, or my cousin looks at it or something. Somehow I ended up seeing it, but the guy had loaded the tube backwards. So the way the shells were supposed to go, he flipped them around. So like they were coming up, ass end first, I guess.
Right?
I was just like, wow, how'd you do that? And he's like, oh, I thought that's how they go in. And then I said, please explain to me how you think this thing cycles these rounds. And then he sat there and looked for a minute because I was like, this doesn't like go through a loop right here. Like it's
Well,
not.
most of them have like a silhouette of which way they go in.
Yes, if you're fucking observant, they do. If you're an idiot, they don't. Oh, sorry for saying the F word. But yeah, it was crazy. I saw a 1911 loaded backwards once. That was kind of funny. Yeah, it's people and their guns.
the interesting thing is, like, I mean, and I know everybody says it's not like movies, but like for me, like loading shotguns and stuff came from watching movies, and I'm like, did you not see like how they did it in movies? Like, it's not that complicated to load a shotgun.
Yeah, it's not that complicated. Unless you're dumb, then it might be. Or you've just not had any kind of anyone to help you. Or I don't know. But yeah, gun fails. I guess that kind of brings us into our giveaway portion of the show. And we'll give away an intentionally left blank patch. We'll give away one. And the trivia question for it is, what intro song did we use last episode? Name of song and name of artist to win. So if one of you can look on the Gun Channel side, and then we'll see who gets it.
I'm looking on the Gun Channel side now.
It wasn't It's Raining Men, was it?
It should have been. Should have been. It will be one day.
Well, I've just noticed, and this is a very monumentous victory, but thanks to Gary, we outnumber you broads 3-2.
Oh
So,
man.
haha.
Yes, it's now a sausage fest.
Sausage fest. Oh, it looks like Dead Horse won on the YouTube side. It was Beastie Boys, girls. So Dead Horse won, so he gets a patch and a sticker. So we'll get that out to you. Gary was the first. Gary actually won 2 giveaways, so Gary got 2 patches. And I don't know if he's going to give one away on his show or not, or if
As
he'll.
a matter of fact, I have an envelope here that I just got today.
Oh, so you didn't even know there's 2 patches in it, and I just ratted myself out on it.
You told me
Oh.
the other day.
I told you. Yeah, so there it is. So will Gary give one away? Will he make you do something? What is that chicken behind you? Oh my god.
Is that in front of him or behind? Oh, holy hell.
What the hell?
Well, I love what is it a mask?
That
Holy shit! Good night.
He's gonna get eaten by a chicken.
Oh, you might want
Wait,
to
it's
send the
just the
kids out
head?
of the room.
Oh man.
Why
It's
is
my
it
How
just
long
the
has
head?
everything?
Look at the size of that. Oh,
I got so many questions right now.
Y'all might want to send the kids out of the room. This is the adult portion of the show.
right.
That
That's my buddy.
where'd you get that thing from? That thing's amazing.
That came from Amazon.
Oh man.
It's a mask, in case you didn't know.
It's like the best. Is it like furry on the top? Oh,
Now that you
snap.
say that, it was probably a furry costume.
Now, my question is, like, why? That would have been. Why is he not wearing it? I think we should have him try it on.
Yeah, why are you not wearing it?
Put it on.
Here we go, live on Attention Left Blank. Chicken has appeared. Holy shit, this is amazing.
I don't know what to say right now.
Oh,
Now I need to go find my
God.
horse one.
Oh,
You can put your glasses on the mouth and it'll be like super funny.
Oh, that would be like Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah, like Beetlejuice.
oh,
Can
that's
you
just
actually breathe in that thing?
Mm-hmm.
Is it hot?
I like that it actually has like all the like flappy skin parts on it. And it's furry. That thing's amazing. Oh
There you-
man.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh, here it happens. It's happening.
Is this your new costume for Foul Territory?
Halloween edition of Foul Territory. He's gonna wear the mask.
Actually, I bought that before last Halloween. Yeah, so I've had it a while.
That thing's amazing.
It's been all the way to Tulsa.
Oh really?
Oh,
If you look at some of the Instagram photos from at Hugo's, there are some pictures of Obnoxious One with me wearing that. I believe also with Sarge.
And you're wearing it or they're wearing it?
I'm wearing it.
Oh, okay.
But yes, that has been to Tulsa. So that is battle worn.
Yeah, that thing's amazing.
It didn't cost that much. I think it's about $30.
And look how much joy it brings.
Oh yeah, I love that thing.
Yeah, that thing's amazing. I'm sure Gun Snob was trying to pet your chicken.
I just want to know
They
who's
call that
actually
choking
thumbs down this video.
Wow. Obnoxious One said it smelled like disappointment.
Like amazing, amazing.
I think he was doing the Joe Biden challenge while I had that thing on.
Oh,
Ooh.
All
That's
right, so-
definitely a conversation starter.
yeah, it is. When I saw that, I was like, "What is that thing?" I thought it was one of those. What's that place called? Tractor Supply, where they sell that 6 foot tall aluminum chicken. you seen that thing?
Yeah. Now, if you
Something
if
like
you
that.
go
thing's like $300, man. That was ridiculous for that thing.
if you go to any of my latest videos and go to my Amazon links, you can actually buy this right off of my links.
Oh snap!
It's
So
right
everyone could own Gary's mask.
Go to my Amazon store. You can get like this microphone, a lot of these signs and stuff back behind me. They're all there.
Oh, look what Frankie has now.
Oh, what? Oh, she's
Oh,
good.
Frankie's got some chicken thing now too.
Competition.
Oh man, look at that! That's a whole chicken.
Give him a bird.
Well, last time I showed mine, I had to register, so I can't.
Yeah, dude, keep your cock off camera. We don't want to see that.
We gotta come up with a name for this little guy. Oh, there's a fishy. Ow, ow, ow.
That's like is that like a fish bird combo?
Kind of, sort of. It's some Disney character. It's a Tsum Tsum.
Zoom, zoom.
Tsum
All right,
Tsum.
well, let's go into our final topic for the night, and then we can get out of here, hopefully, without wasting anyone else's time. So, you just bought a gun, whether you're new to guns or old to guns or whatever. What's the first thing you do? So you sit in your car, you get home, you walk through the door. Now what? Dave, start with you.
Range.
Do you don't clean it first? You don't
Nope. If it doesn't fire right out of the package, something's wrong with it. Possibly put about 100 or so rounds through it to get the feel for it. 500 round break-in period should not actually be a thing.
do you inspect it first at least? Like
Well, definitely, but you should have actually inspected it before you bought it.
yeah,
Yes,
that's
agreed.
Definitely, especially if it's going to go into the carry rotation, you definitely want to make sure you can handle the recoil. Know what the recoil impulse feels like. Definitely more mags.
They're asking in chat if it's a long gun or handgun.
Either.
So, photos,
Yeah.
bags, holsters, bling in some kind of way. Glitter. Always add glitter.
Glitter it up.
Glitter it up.
I wonder if you could like glitter a slide and then epoxy it or something. So you have a glitter slide. I don't know if that'll work.
They make like clear coat glitter that you could spray onto it like an enamel paint. Don't know how long it would last, but you could do something like that if you really wanted to.
Interesting.
Yes.
I like it. Oh,
Or just stick a mega holster sticker on it.
see if you can find fan merch for the ones that you bought, whichever one. Sig, Walther, Glock, whatever it be. Get loaded up on the merch. Ugh.
What about like, so you buy accessories? So you said like mags and a holster. What about all the all the little upgrade parts? Like if you got a 92 FS, like you get all the metal parts, stuff like that.
You could do that, or you could upgrade your sights. If you don't like your sights, you get cool night sights.
That's a big one. Usually people they go for the sight. Some people only replace sights and then nothing else.
You can replace the grip. I did on mine. I got a pink grip versus the black one it came with. Customize it.
What about you, Gary? What do you do when you get a new gun?
I can't believe no one's mentioned this, but the first thing you got to do is take a picture of it and put it on Instagram. Man.
Damn it!
Oh, That is a good point there.
Well,
And then yeah, most of the time you're gonna clean it up, shine it up. I have taken them straight to the range without cleaning them. It usually won't hurt anything, but I usually clean them first. But yeah, first thing you got to do is show it off. Definitely.
That's very true. Slim, what about you? First, you get a new gun. What's your first thing?
Usually I do try and clean my guns first before shooting, only because in a lot of guns I've noticed like you'll find little bits of metal.
You're very
shapes.
quiet,
Oh, can you hear me now?
kind of.
Hang on, let me turn up. All right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. So generally, I do clean my guns before shooting them, only because there's been several guns that I've cleaned that have found little metal shavings and whatnot in them. Nothing that probably would hurt the gun, but I feel better giving them a once over, cleaning them, oiling them. Generally, try and at least find one thing to complain on the internet about with it, and then go shoot them.
You know, the finish.
Can you
And then-
speak to the manager?
Yes, I have to speak to the manager about at least one thing per gun.
Yeah,
And
Karen.
once I get that done, then I usually look at, if I'm gonna carry it, I look at accessories and stuff, pick out holsters, and decide how many mags I want. Pick out a carry ammo.
And should we talk about how I had to shame you into spending 80 cents a round or no?
Nobody shamed me. It's
Oh my god, no, we shamed you.
okay. So you can explain it.
Slim was gonna buy like golden bullets practically for his carry ammo for like 15 cents a round. And I said, is your life not worth 80 cents a round? Yeah.
Hang on.
We all were going at it. And then eventually he got the.
So all that happened was, I think somebody's rooting for something.
What?
My bad.
Oh,
My bad.
All I said was I was watching a bunch of different ammunition tests, and that the Remington 115 grain jacketed hollow points performed very well. That's all I said, and apparently everybody took that as I was cheaping out on my carry ammo.
You were. All right, so let's see. Dead Horse says to proof test the gun. Flippy, when he gets a new rifle, he runs around his house yelling pew pew. And if it's a handgun, he does the same, but with John Wick music playing. I can see that.
You have to record this next time that happens.
He might if you ask him. Puts Vickers stuff on his Glocks. Dano says pink guns remind him too much of Aunt Flo. Rob takes his new gun to bed with him. And Snob doesn't know what cleaning guns is. And he doesn't want any gun unless it's a high point.
Now,
Am I the only one?
Go ahead.
All right, Slim.
I was
I was
just
going to say, when it comes to, sorry, I'm getting a delay, that's why. I'm the only one that remembers when he said, I take my new gun to bed, to instantly thought the movie or the show Sledgehammer.
Probably, yeah. I never thought of that.
I was gonna-
Sledgehammer. What?
The show Sledgehammer, where he slept next to his, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was a python.
Oh, Ozzy takes his gun to the range and then he goes home and makes a holster for it. That's pretty cool.
That is cool. Now, the take your gun to bed thing, I kind of thought that was a given. That's why I didn't mention that. Of course you do that.
Isn't
That's
that how
like-
you lube it?
Yeah, you take it out to the range, and then you bring it home, and you know, caress it and all that.
So you get creepy with it?
Not creep. It's only
You
creepy.
said caress it.
Super creepy, dude.
It's only creepy
Hey.
if it doesn't consent.
You purchased it, you can do whatever you want to with it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know about this. It's sounding an awfully lot like hashtag me too. Shawnee says if he gets a new gun, he oils it and shoots it. So new gun, oil and shoot. Old gun, complete tear down, clean oil, and then shoot. So I agree with that. That's pretty much what I would do too. Yeah. All right. So anyone have anything to add about what you do with your gun or gun after you just bought it?
I name it.
Oh, there's one. All right. So you name all of your guns?
I have named all of my guns.
And how do you get the names? They just come to you?
They just come to me sometimes just from shooting them or something like that. My Walther 22 is Wally. My cowboy gun is Eastwood. My SIG 2022 is Jack. My new Glock is Zorro. My AR-15 is Tiny. Named him Tiny because Rob's AR-15 rifle is bigger. My SIG... He's looking at me funny. My SIG 380 is Rodrigo.
Look at Rob funny because he's the one that said he takes his gun to bed with him.
Are they all Mexican names?
No. I really don't think that the Walther is Wally's Mexican.
Yeah.
And then Tiny is just Tiny.
Oh, Tiny. I think you said Jaime. Sorry, my bad.
No. Tiny as in little. It's a pistol, so I went with Tiny until I decided to change it. And then his Smith & Wesson the other day, I think I called him Winston. I named it Winston by accident.
Oh, I kind of like that though.
Yeah, I was talking about it, and I went to say the make and model of the gun, and I kind of goofed a little bit, and it's just like, hey, it's Winston now.
It works.
I haven't named any of his other guns yet, but you just wait. Just wait.
All my guns come pre-named. They're normally stamped on the sled.
So you don't name your guns further, Dave?
Nope.
I had a buddy that named some of his guns, but I've never named them. Usually I'll curse at him and be annoyed with him if I'm trying to take them all apart and get all the little parts out, but that's about as far as that goes.
What about you, Gary? Any naming?
Never named any of my guns. Now, one thing I do, and it's usually not too long after I buy it, is I do keep a spreadsheet with the day I buy the gun, the model number, the serial number, and all that stuff. Usually when I get a new gun, I update that spreadsheet. So it gets a number. It doesn't get a name, but it gets a number.
I feel like you should name your guns after different breeds of chickens.
How many different breeds are there?
Are there a lot? Like different, because some have like bluish eggs. I think there's like names for them. Like Silky, I think one's a Silky. Snob will probably know. He's got animals that he kills and eats.
I don't think he has chickens. He has cattle.
I don't know. You never know what that guy's got.
True.
Now, is your little spreadsheet, is that like part just for documentation and part in case you ever got robbed or something and you would have like records to go by?
Yeah, that's more or less what it's for insurance purposes and stuff like that.
It's actually
Is
really
it on the
smart.
internet so the government knows?
I sent him a copy of it. They've got all that information on the 4473s anyway.
That's actually a really smart idea. I should probably do something like that.
Yep. I keep all my, I guess it's the 4473, but it's like whatever the DOJ gives you back from the information they put on the 4473. So it says like California DOJ on the top, but I keep that. I make a copy of them. I keep them in 2 different places. And that way, you got all your info. All right, so I think that's the show. Solved a lot of problems, or just babbled for an hour, however you look at it. We'll run through the room. Go ahead and plug all your stuff. We'll start with Gary, since he's a guest of honor.
Well, hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
And my website is gizzardgary.com. I do a show of Foul Territory every Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. And then Sunday morning, I also do a 4-hour lobby. It's called the Early Bird Chat. That starts at 10 Eastern, 9 Central. So, again, thanks for having me.
Of course. Dave, how's that contest going? Am I still winning it?
I think so. Actually, last week got a couple extra, but I got up to 998, then all of a sudden I posted that tray and then I lost like 10. So I'm working at it again.
All right. Well, enter the contest at, what is it, California.EDC?
Well, my page is California EDC, yeah. So I guess the dot really threw people off. So I can't tell if Instagram uses a dot or not.
I think it does. I believe it does. But yeah, so who's next? Slim.
Well, thank you again for the invite. Check me out. I make different videos and stuff. You can find me just about anywhere, and that's about it.
All right, cool. Frankie, what do you got?
Well, I got my channel. Like I was talking about earlier, I am doing a Glock 43X versus X amount of guns. I'm going to run through what we have. So far, I think I've done like 2 videos. They're going to be dropping within the next week and week and a half. So pay attention because it's going to be interesting what I think between different guns versus that, since I plan to make the 43X my carry gun. So I'm having fun with it. And since the audience seemed to like my other videos so much, I decided to do the whole series on it.
Awesome. So it's going to be you like from I just got this gun to I'm now carrying this gun, or?
A little bit of that. My transition from carrying a 380 to carrying the 9. I'm still going to carry my 380 here and there. It's not like I'm getting rid of that gun, but I'm also going to start carrying the 9, which is the 43X. But I'm also doing videos with versus. So like the 43X versus Rob's shield, or the 43X versus my 380, or the 43X versus my other 9mm. So it's going to be kind of like that. So I'll end up being like a review of both guns and how they perform and what I think and how much do they hurt my wrist and all that stuff.
Awesome. Looking forward to seeing that. As far as me, buy things from gearwebsites.com, and I guess also buy things from our sponsor. That's like air quotes. Allen Anchor, allenanchor.com. If you buy something on there today and you comment intentionally left blank, I will give you a patch. So that's running for today.
Actually, once I get back from vacation, I'm going to be starting on my patch to get Allen Anchor to actually finish it up.
Oh yeah, that's going to be cool. We'll do a lot of patches. All right, so yep, we'll catch you guys in 2 weeks where we will be probably on the road. So we'll do a show from a top secret location somewhere in the Midwest. So that being said, thanks for tuning in. Some people have asked about a Patreon. We don't have a Patreon. If you want to give to a Patreon, give to the Gun Channel's Patreon or Gear Websites or whatever that's under. That your money will go much further over there. So thanks, and we'll catch you in 2 weeks.